Hello guys, this is your boy Kinsunga and welcome back once again to another video on my YouTube channel. As always, if you're new here and you're looking to improve as a forex trader, I recommend you like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification. So whenever I post educative content like this, you'll be notified as fast as possible. And I'm here once again with another market breakdown. So we're gonna break down GBPNZD and US30. I'm spotting some interesting opportunity that I would like to show you to you guys, so you guys can also utilize on it and also see how I also look at the market. After we go through the technicals, we also go through the commitments of traders report, the core data report. And if you haven't watched the video I did specifically for how to read the core data report, I'll leave the link right at the top here so you can also check it out. And I understand how to read the core data report, so you can also use it as a confluence to whatever strategy that you are using. So let's first start breaking down GBPNZD. Let's start from our monthly time frame down to our daily time frame. And if you are new to the channel, or if you have been in the community for long, you know that anytime that I'm analyzing the market, I start from a monthly time frame to my daily time frame, and I use these three major high time frames to find the direction. Okay, so from my monthly time frame, my weekly time frame down to my daily time frame, I use these three major time frames for direction, and I take my entries on the 4 hour. I hope I'm making sense right here. So let's start breaking down the market from the monthly time frame. So on the monthly time frame right here, we can see a pattern forming on the monthly time frame. That is the inverse head and shoulder pattern. Okay, I believe you all know inverse head and shoulder pattern forming here. So I'm expecting the next leg since the last leg of the inverse head and shoulder forming. I'm expecting the next move to form a higher high to break this previous structure right here. Okay, so everything on the monthly time frame on GBPNZD looks very bullish. You can see a nice impulse correction, and after the correction you can see some bullish candle printing right here, so you can expect more continuation to the upside. Okay, so everything pretty much on the monthly time frame looks very bullish. Let's go down to our weekly time frame and see what we have on our weekly time frame. Okay, so on the weekly time frame, things even get much more interesting because you can see a pattern that I've been talking about. If you have already been in a community, I've been talking about I'm talking about the W and M pattern. Okay, I think almost all my breakdown videos that I do, I talk about a W and M pattern, and what I say is generally whenever you see a W formation form in the market, you are expecting price to do what? To come all the way back since our neckline for any continuation to the upside, and that's vice versa. Whenever we see an M formation be from the market, you're expecting price to come all the way back to the neckline for any continuation to the downside. So this is bearish and this is bullish. Okay, that's a bearish and bullish pattern that I just drew. So clearly on the weekly time frame on GBPNZD, you can see that price did what? Price formed a nice W formation and price came all the way back to retest to the neckline. That is why I placed this line right here to the neckline. You can see immediately price tested, price got the previous weekly candle got rejected, and the next last week also candle closed, I mean, very bullish. So we can speed up from here. The market will try to complete the W formation pattern. That is, after the retest to the neckline, price will form another higher high. So I'm expecting that price will do what? Price will form another high since price has come all the way back to test and neckline of the W formation. So the monthly time frame look very bullish, and the weekly time frame also look very bullish due to the pattern that the W pattern that we are seeing on the weekly time frame. Okay, so our monthly time frame, our weekly time frame, and alignment. Now let's go to our daily time frame and see what we also have on our daily time frame. Now when we come to our daily time frame, we can see on GBPNZ that price did what? Price just formed an inverse W formation. This is an inverse W formation. Okay, this is an inverse. One leg is longer than the other. Okay, retest, rejection to the upside, and that's the inverse W formation that we are currently seeing on the daily time frame. Okay, and apart from the inverse W formation, you can also see a nice break and retest. Okay, on a daily time frame, you can see a nice break and retest, and from here you can split price to reject all the way to the upside. Okay, so our monthly, our weekly, our daily time frame are all in alignment. Everything looks bullish from the monthly time frame down to our down to our daily time frame. So what I'm going to do here from here is, like I said, after my 3 major time frames and alignment, I then go on my 4 hour for entry. Now when I come on my 4 hour, things also look, pretty much simple and straightforward. You can see a nice, price action playing out here on the 4 hour time frame. You can see a strong push to the upside after this correction. You can see a strong push to the upside, and price is currently retracing. Okay, so whenever we see a strong push and a retracement, in order for us to know where the retracement is going to end, that is where our Fibonacci tool comes into place. Okay, so we take our Fibonacci tool to do what? To measure the impulse all the way to the upside, and you can see that price has currently retraced to the 0.5 Fibonacci level. Okay, so it's possible that price from here can easily do what? Can easily reject all the way to the upside. You can see that the market has currently opened. Okay, the market has currently opened as I'm doing this video. You can see that the 4 hour candle, is closing, is trying to close in the pin bar. If I think we have like 1 hour 37 minutes more for the 4 hour candle to close. But if the 4 hour candle closes with this pin bar, then there's a high possibility that this pin bar candle, there's a high possibility that price might reject on the 0.5 Fibonacci level and push all the way to hit our target. Our target, so that is a 1.98 by 1.98902. That's our target. That's our take profit level. Okay, so if the 4 hour candle should close with this pin bar, it might reject all the way to the upside. But what I actually want to be patient on this pair right here. I don't want to rush and make an early entry since the market just opened. There can be a lot of things going on. The market just opened, so things hasn't really settled yet. So I'll be looking for entry probably tomorrow going. But I'll actually be happy if price is to move down to a golden Fibonacci level. Okay, because when we get there, then it gives me much confidence that price might definitely reverse all the way to the upside. And why am I saying that I prefer or I'm actually anticipating that price will go down to golden Fibonacci level, that is a 0.618. I'm saying this because you can clearly see that it is a 0. Golden Fibonacci level that is perfectly aligning with structure. Okay, you can see that where our golden Fibonacci level is, you can see a nice structure right there. You can see another structure right here. So you can see that upon all the Fibonacci level, it is the 0.618, our golden Fibonacci level, that is aligning perfectly with structure. That's the previous structure that got broken to the upside. Okay, so there might be a high possibility that price will do what? Price will come all the way back to this zone, which is also our golden Fibonacci level. Then price will then do what? Reverse all the way to the upside. Okay, so you can see this nice technical analysis that we just did on GBPNZD. And if you don't understand it and you want to ask any questions, just leave it in the comments below, and I'll reply immediately. Immediately I see it. All right. Okay. So let's move straight to the COT report and see what the big banks are also doing on the various currencies. That's the GBP and NZD, and from there we know how we can use this as a confluence to the technicals that we just had. So on the COT report for GBP, you can see we have 64,204 longs and 40,079 short. Okay, so clearly you can see there was more longs and short, and the reason for that go up is you can see that we added 11 longs and 6,545 short. Okay, so you can see that the momentum on GBP right now is not really clear. You can see they are adding shorts and they are also adding longs. So you can see that the momentum is not really clear, but overall the GBP is still strong, because when you check the percentage wise here, you can see that GBP is 36%, and that is the longs aspect. You can see we have 36% longs and 23% shorts. Okay, so clearly GBP is so strong, even though it's really uncertain on what the big banks are doing, because you can see they are currently adding shorts too, but that doesn't validate our setup. Okay, you can see the technicals that we had here, because the big banks directions on the GBP is not really clear. It doesn't validate our setup. Okay, because the report that we are seeing there, we are currently seeing on GBP, this report is what happened last week. Okay, so it's a report of previous data that happened, so you won't actually know how the big banks are going to behave the upcoming. They might decide to add more longs to actually make our move that we are anticipating happen on GBP. Okay, so it doesn't validate our setup. Okay, it doesn't say that our setup is good or bad. So let's take a look at the NZD and see what the big banks are also doing on the NZD. Okay, that's the New Zealand dollar. So on the New Zealand dollar, you can see that we had 24,684 longs and 18,757 short. So we had more longs than short. And the recent report that got released, we realized that they added 238 longs and added 2,896 short. Okay, so they added more shorts than longs with the previous data that got released. Okay, where earlier on we had more longs than shorts, and the recent report that came shows that they are beginning to add more shorts than what longs, even though they added a little bit of longs. You can see that gradually the momentum is shifting. The NZD is becoming weaker. Okay, whilst the GBP still remains what we still have its strength. So we can actually anticipate that we are going to get this move right here is actually going to do what? Going to happen. Okay, that's what like I said earlier on, the COT report doesn't validate our setup that it is going to happen or not, but it gives us, I mean, a confluence or that it gives us some kind of, I mean, a direction of how the big banks, how the institutional traders are actually positioning themselves on the various currency pairs. So you can also do what you can also utilize on the move that they're making. But if you haven't also watched my video that I did specifically for the commitment of traders, I'll leave the link right at the top so you can check out a full insight on how to read the COT report and also use it as a confluence to whatever strategy that you are using. Okay, so you can see that the big banks are not really clear or really certain on what they are actually doing on both currencies, that is the GBP and NZD. But all the same, it doesn't say that because the big banks are not pushing themselves forward, it means that our setup is invalid. No. Okay, our technical is still solid. You just have to keep our eye and see if you are going to get an entry just about this zone, and right price all the way to the upside. Okay, high price all the way to the upside. So let me just measure it in pips and see how many pips we are actually anticipating. So we are actually anticipating about 294 pips. Okay, so this is a pretty much good deal that I'm actually anticipating to get, to take part. So on the weekly time frame on US30, US30 is a bullish market. You can see how US30 has been forming a series of higher highs and higher lows. It has been trending to the upside for a very long time. You can see, so you can see that whenever I'm trading pairs like US30 and US100, popularly known as Nasdaq, I normally look for buys. Okay, because this market has been trending to the upside for a very long time. So whenever I come on this pairs, trust me guys, I mostly search for buy setups. Okay, so you can see on the weekly time frame, you can see a simple price action playing out. So you can see a nice break and retest. Price from a higher high right here, previous resistance, price corrected, and price broke above the previous resistance, now turning support. Okay, so you can see immediately price retested the previous resistance. You can see how price got rejected immediately, and you can see this bullish candle forming right here. And when it even becomes much clearer when you switch to our line chart, you can see a nice break and retest on the weekly time frame. So everything looks very bullish on the weekly time frame. When you come right on the daily time frame, you can see price forming a series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so everything pretty much looks bullish on the daily time frame. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. You can see price forming another higher high right here. Okay, but last week I actually made the entry, a very good entry on US30, because the price action was very ugly, so I didn't want to get myself involved. There was a lot of spikes here and there. So let's go on the 4 hour and I'll make the explanation for you. So you can see that from the weekly time frame to the daily time frame, everything looks pretty much bullish. Okay, everything pretty much looks very, very, very bullish. And we also take a look at that COT report to back our technicals. You see what the big banks are also doing. So on the 4 hour last week, you can see that on a daily time frame, price broke above a resistance zone. You can see the retest price came earlier on. I was thinking of getting an entry here. I got an early entry from here. price went to the upside, came back and took me out on a break even right there. Okay, so that was when I decided to relax for this pair. You can see price a lot of manipulations here and there before the actual move went all the way to the upside. Okay, so I was happy that I didn't get involved at this stage, because I don't want to get into any trouble. You understand what I'm trying to say? I want to see a clear. I wanted the market to commit itself by making a clear impulse. And you can see the impulse right here that I'm expecting price to do what? I'm expecting price to make a retest. I'm expecting price to make a retest to the previous resistance. That's this zone. That broke last week. That the market broke impulsively to the upside last week. But price to do what? To make a retest, and price will do what? Price will make a reversal from here all the way to the upside. Okay, so that is the thought process that is behind the technicals on the US30. Pretty much simple. Everything from the weekly time frame down to a 4 hour is really, really bullish. And when you even go down to 1 hour time frame, you can see that price action also here looks really, really bullish. But like I said earlier on, I'm expecting price to do what? To make a to come back to this zone, to give me a retest before price making a move all the way to the upside. Okay, so I'll be looking at the 4 hour time frame and the 1 hour time frame, and trading the indices and the forex is I trade them differently. How I look at forex, I don't look at it like how I look at the indices, because these two pairs behave differently. Okay, so before you trade a pair and profitable on a pair, you have to understand how the pair behaves and how its characteristics. Every pair have its own unique behavior. You have to take your time, study a pair before you you can be actually accurate on a certain pair. So the price action on US30 looks straightforward, simple. Everything looks really, really bullish. And let's just see what the big bands are also saying on US30. Okay, let's see what the big bands are also saying on US30. So the COT report for US30, you can clearly see that previously we had 34,280 longs and 44,045 shorts. Okay, so clearly we had more shorts than longs. Okay, we had more shorts than longs. And the recent report that got updated, we saw that the big banks added 2,871 longs and closed 408 shorts. Okay, so clearly you can see that the momentum on US30 is shifting. We had more shorts than longs, and the recent report show that the big banks are beginning to close a lot of shorts and are beginning to add a lot of longs. Okay, and also on our technicals, we're also expecting a bullish momentum. Okay, due to some series of higher highs that is going on the higher highs and higher lows that is going on the weekly time frame and daily time frame. We're expecting more continuation to the upside on US30. As you can also see, the big bands are also doing what? The big bands are closing. The big bands are also closing their shorts and are beginning to add a lot of longs on US30. So we can clearly see. Let me position my camera well. So we can clearly see that the momentum is what shifting, so that we can, one thing we can also say is the COT report is also backing our technical, so that now we can get confidence and actually trade this setup. So I think that is pretty much, we have gone through the GBPNZD trade, and also the setup that we also have on US30. So if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions that you'd like to add to this breakdown that I did on this two pair, remember to just write down in the comment section, so that others too can also read and also learn from your questions and also your suggestions that you can also add to this content that I just gave you. Please remember, if you're new here that you're watching this video, remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, so whenever I post content like this, you'll be notified. And also, if you're also already here, just give this video a thumbs up to support the channel. See you in the next one, guys.